Lisa Hollinger here. This is going to be what I'm going to start nicknaming the Did You Know series. There are so many aspects of our tax collection system that taxpayers don't know about. And does it make sense for them to know? Yeah, I suppose so. But it's pretty intricate and it's complicated and it takes professionals years to learn this stuff. So I don't necessarily know if it makes sense, but it's always good. It just may not make sense. So today we're going to talk about two different playbooks that the IRS uses, and you may not know this, and it's crucial if you are a taxpayer that is in some type of disagreement with the IRS, or if you're in some type of, I don't know, problem or trouble area, or maybe you just aren't even in compliance. So the IRS uses two different sets of rules to determine if a taxpayer has broke the rules, how to punish a taxpayer, and how to move a taxpayer forward. So the first set of rules, everybody is probably at least has heard of, maybe not know where to find it or be familiar with it, and that's the Internal Revenue Code. This is what determines what is income, what is deductions, what the penalties are, the filing dates. It's the law, it's statutory, cannot be changed, although we did see some of that during the pandemic. But it's the law, and this is what the IRS uses for determining when you broke the rules, determining when you reported something incorrectly, determining how to penalize you and punish you. Well, the other set of rules is going to deal predominantly with collections, and it's the Internal Revenue Manual. Well, in our situation, it's going to deal with collections. The Internal Revenue Manual basically is the IRS handbook for their employees. This is how their employees are supposed to process, to follow things, their procedures. So you kind of need to know what's going to happen. And the reason I say we use this in collections because it's predominantly where it comes into play for professionals. We're trying to figure out what is the revenue officer going to do in this event? What is the revenue agent going to do if this happens? What is the taxpayer, what are their options? What is the IRS looking for? It's kind of like watching a football game, watching your opponents before you play the game. You kind of need to know what their moves are, and that's how the IRS is with the IRM. So we study the IRM so we are able to, be proactive and maybe be prepared for the IRS. So every once in a while, they break those rules. Now, those are not statutory. They are not the law. They're policy, the IRS policy. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not important. It just means that the IRS can change it and at will, and it's not as egregious. Well, maybe that's not even right either. It's more likely that the revenue officers are going to break the IRM rules, and the revenue agents are probably going to follow the IRM maybe a little bit better, maybe not, but they're dealing with more the code where revenue officers are dealing more with the IRM. I hope that helps. The Internal Revenue Manual, I should say quickly, is probably section 5. It's the collection section that you may want to be aware of. And if you haven't taken the time, I personally think it's fascinating. I like to know what's going on. I like to be prepared. And so I spend time reading it. Now, I am, as my husband says, a sick individual. So I personally like reading it. But give it a gander, see what's going on. And my number is going to be at the top here if you need help. We offer a free 30-minute strategy session. It's 501-725-2626. We can give you an idea of whether or not it makes sense to use a representative, if I can help you, what that looks like. And if not, then I'm going to give you some good information and send you on your way. I'm not going to waste your time or mine. I hope that helps. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye now.